You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report podcast number 284.1, your daily audio sports section featuring the Pacers, Colts, Fever, IndyCar, IU, Purdue, Ball State, Butler, and of course the best high school sports coverage in Central Indiana. Please come back every day for the Central Indiana Scoreboard Show. It's really good.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report. We thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. Today is June 2nd, 2025. It's a Monday. It's another day for Central Indiana sports, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, podcasting from Stage 22 in beautiful Elwood, Indiana. Producer Susie is in the control room at headquarters in Jeffersonville. Coming up, we have the NBA Finals schedule and some information. The first post-Indy 500 race was held in Detroit. We have the weekend's national news and notes, and matchups for Monday's baseball sectional championships and Tuesday's softball regional championships, and more. But before we get to that, I'm going to ask you to please go to our YouTube page and subscribe. Just search Central Indiana Sports Report. It is very easy to find. Please do it so you don't miss any of the podcasts that you're interested in. For example, we will continue to have baseball, softball, girls tennis, and track and field scoreboards and preview shows throughout the postseasons the next couple of weeks, with golf starting next week. Dave Chanley and Michelle Garman and I reacted to Sunday's IndyCar race in Detroit. And we had our Major League Baseball report with Uncle Paul, Cody Emerson, and guest Will Rutherford that will be out later Monday, and it was a good one. This will be a bit of an abbreviated Central Indiana Scoreboard show, but remember, we have longer versions of every single story in separate Pacers, Fever, IndyCar, and High School Scoreboard podcasts. And we start, of course, with the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals. Let me say it again. With the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals, and it begins Thursday in Oklahoma City for Game 1. Game 1 tips at 8:30, as do all of the games, with the exception of the two games that will be on Sunday. Those games are scheduled for 8 o'clock. Game 2 is in Oklahoma City and, in fact, is Sunday at 8 o'clock. The NBA Finals then returns to Indy for the first time in 25 years next Wednesday and Friday. By the way, the last time the NBA Finals were held in Indianapolis, the Pacers beat Shaq and Kobe and the Lakers 100-91 in Game 3 and 120-87 in Game 5 behind 32 points from Jalen Rose. The other home game that year was the day that Kobe Bryant started to become a superstar in the league. After Shaquille O'Neal fouled out, Kobe Bryant took over in overtime, and the Lakers beat the Pacers 120-118, or I think the Pacers probably win that championship. The day that the legend of Kobe Bryant began, and it happened in Indianapolis 25 years ago. Game 5, assuming, that the Pacers don't sweep the Thunder, will be Monday, June 16th, and Game 6 back at the Fieldhouse on Thursday, the 19th. Game 7 is in Oklahoma City, and that would be Sunday, June 22nd. All of the games are on ABC. MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunders are minus 750 favorites over the Pacers, one of the longest odds for a team in NBA Finals history. It's the longest odds since the 2018 Finals, when the Warriors were minus 1075 and beat the Cavs in 5 games. The good news is that the next longest odds since 2004 were the world champion Pistons, who beat Shaq and Kobe in 5 games to overcome those odds. So it has been done. Rick Carlisle said Monday that Jarris Walker will not be available for at least the first 2 games in the series after suffering a major ankle sprain in Thursday's 125-108 Game 6 Eastern Conference clinching win over the Knicks. Believe me, we will have much more on the Pacers and Thunder and the NBA Finals throughout the next couple of weeks on the Central Indiana Scoreboard Show and on separate podcasts. You'll probably get sick of all the Pacers coverage if that was possible. Kyle Kirkwood survived wing damage to win his second race of the IndyCar season on the streets of Detroit on Sunday. He led 34 laps for his fourth career Indy win. Only Kirkwood and three-time reigning series champion Alex Below have won a race this year.
Huge day in general for Andretti Global. We've had a hell of a couple weeks, not going to lie. And, this is an exclamation point on everything that we've done. Andretti's phenomenal at street courses, and it's so good to capitalize on it. I felt pretty robbed of a couple wins here the past couple of years, where I felt like we definitely should have won, and we've had pace on everyone. And finally this year we were able to get it done. Not from lack of challenge either. I had to pass some cars out there. I found myself in the fourth, fifth position, I think, a couple times, and had to claw my way back. So fortunately, we had pace to do so, and fortunately, I made it stick. It was some low percentage moves, if I'm not going to lie, that I made, but you have to at street courses, right? Not any move you make is low percentage. So fortunately, they stuck, and we were able to come home with the win.
Colton Herta started from pole and dominated early, but had a mid-race incident. However, he did fight back to finish third. The other podium finisher was Foyt Racing Santino Ferrucci with a career-best second place. Will Power was fourth, Kiffin Simpson was fifth, then Marcus Armstrong, Pato Award, Christian Lundgaard, Joseph Newgarden, and Alexander Rossi filled out the top 10. Alex Palou was driven into the barrier by Indy 500 runner-up David Malukas and didn't finish in the top 2 for the first time this year. After winning 5 of the first 6 races, Palou finished 25th Sunday in Detroit. He's the 24th straight Indy 500 winner not to win the following week. The last one to do it was Juan Pablo Montoya in 2000, when he won the Milwaukee Mile the week after winning the 500. Palou still leads Pato Award by 90 points in the IndyCar standings. Kirkwood moved up to third despite being penalized 24 spots at Indy for failing post-race inspection. Otherwise, he would be in second. Christian Lundgaard of McLaren is the only driver anywhere near contention. Scott Dixon is 138 points back in 7th. Scott McLaughlin 147 back in 8th. Ferrucci moved up to 10th place in the standings, and Joseph Newgarden's horrible season continued Sunday. He's now 185 points behind Palou. Not even a single podium finish for Newgarden yet this season. There was an even more significant accident earlier in the race when rookie Louis Foster's back right, I almost said passenger side, his back right wheel suspension exploded, and he obviously lost control and slammed into the back of Felix Rosenquist's car. Rosenquist suffered a leg injury and will be replaced at Road America this weekend by former Formula One driver Kevin Magnussen, who will be making his IndyCar debut. Pretty big news there. Dave Chanley and I were joined by Michelle Garman to break down Kirkwood's win and Foyt's impressive performance again on Sunday on podcast number 283.3. We released that Sunday evening. The Fever kick off their in-season Commissioner's Cup Tuesday at home against the Washington Mystics at 7. The Commissioner's Cup continues with a game at Chicago on Saturday, then Atlanta at home and at Connecticut the following 2 Tuesdays. The Fever are 2-4 with 3 straight losses, the last 2 without star Caitlin Clark, who was out at least a couple of weeks with a thigh injury. Pretty good timing with the slowed schedule because of the NBA Finals. Give her a little chance and a little extra time to recover with not a lot of games going on. With the NBA season winding down, our coverage of the Fever will increase with our weekly Fever report with John Robertson and Michelle Garman and our reactions to the biggest games. Our next Fever report will be Wednesday afternoon. The Chicago Cubs won the rubber match to win 2 of 3 against the Reds in Chicago with a 7-3 win Sunday in Wrigley. Michael Busch homered in the Cubs' 4-run third, and Jameson Taillon allowed just 2 earned runs and 3 hits in 6 1/3 innings for the win. Kyle Tucker left the game after taking a pitch off of the hand, although he says he'll be fine. The Cubs head on the road for 9 straight starting Tuesday in Washington. Elly De La Cruz hit his 50th career home run Sunday for the Reds after learning earlier in the day that his sister had succumbed to her health issues and died. Reds manager Terry Francona said De La Cruz insisted on being in the lineup. The Reds host the Brewers in a big 3-game series starting Monday at 7 o'clock. That game is on Fox Sports 1. The Yankees beat up on Dodgers starter Yoshi Yamamoto to stave off a sweep from the world champion Dodgers with a 7-3 win in LA on Sunday night. Cole Young hit a walk-off home run to lead the Wesleyan Mariners to a 2-1 win over the Twins. And the Rockies are now 9-50 after a 5-3 loss to the Mets. That is the worst start in modern baseball history. Check out our MLB report with Cody Emerson and Uncle Paul, and this week with guest Will Rutherford. That will be out later Monday. The Stanley Cup final rematch between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers gets underway Wednesday at 8 o'clock on TNT. Game 1 is in Edmonton after the Panthers beat the Oilers in 7 games last year, including 2-1 in Game 7. Game 2 is Friday. Then the series moves to South Beach beginning Monday, June 9th. Ryan Blaney won the NASCAR Cracker Barrel 400 in Nashville on Sunday, leading 139 laps in a race that had 18 lead changes. Carson Hocefer was second, then Denny Hamlin. William Byron still leads the point standings over Kyle Larson. McLaren's Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris went 1-2 in the Spanish Grand Prix Sunday. It's the first time McLaren's gone 1-2 in Spain since Mika Hakkinen and David Coulthard in 2000. Piastri leads Norris by 10 points, and they lead everyone else by about 1,000. Formula One is hard to watch sometimes, man. Scotty Scheffler had another spectacular round Sunday at the Memorial in Dublin, Ohio, and beat runner-up Ben Griffin by 4 strokes to win the event and $4 million. Sepp Straka was third. Australian Open champion Madison Keys and fellow American Coco Gauff will meet in the French Open quarterfinals Wednesday after Keys defeated another American, Haley Baptiste, 6-3, 7-5, Monday morning. However, the third American star, Jessica Pegula, was upset in 3 sets by Frenchwoman Lois Boisson. We are down to 4 teams in the College Softball World Series. Texas and Texas Tech had already advanced with wins Saturday. Then Oklahoma and Tennessee joined them on Sunday. Number 2 Oklahoma beat Oregon 4-1, and Laura Mueller hit a 1-out bases-loaded walk-off single in the number 7 Volunteers 5-4 win over UCLA. On Monday at noon, it'll be number 6 Texas against number 7 Tennessee. If Texas wins, they advance to the national championship best-of-3 series. If the Volunteers win, the 2 teams will play again at 2:30 to determine who moves on to the championship series. Same with Texas Tech and second-ranked Oklahoma. If the Red Raiders win at 7 p.m., Tech is in the final. If Oklahoma wins, the teams play again in a winner-take-all game at 9:30. Every one of those games can be seen on ESPN. The championship series is Wednesday, Thursday, and if necessary, Friday. A few of the Sweet 16 have already advanced in the NCAA baseball tournament. The winners of the 16 regionals advance to this weekend's Super Regionals, best 2 out of 3 series to determine who goes to the College World Series. UTSA upset Texas for the second time in as many days to advance to the Super Regional and eliminate the second-ranked Longhorns. Number 1 Vanderbilt was also eliminated from the Nashville Regional Sunday with a 5-4 loss to Wright State. Louisville later beat Wright State to advance to the Super Regional. Number 3 Arkansas, number 4 Auburn, number 9 Florida State, number 13 Coastal Carolina, Duke, Arizona, and West Virginia have all advanced to the Sweet 16. 7 more teams will join them Monday. A look at Monday's local baseball sectional championships, and we start in Class 4A. Sectional 8 at Carmel. It'll be number 4 Fishers against number 11 Westfield. Fishers is 25-5. Westfield is the 2-time reigning champion and is 20-9. That game starts at 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock at Pendleton Heights, it'll be 14-14 Greenfield Central against 18-9 Pendleton Heights. Greenfield's last sectional championship came in 2019. Pendleton's last came in 2018. In 3A, sectional 23 at Logansport, it'll be number 8 Western against Purdue. Western is 25-4. They've won 21 sectionals in their program's history. The last one in 2022. Purdue is 15-10. That game is at 5. Getting underway in just a few minutes. Sectional 24 at Yorktown. It's 20-9 and defending sectional champion Delta against 10-18 Hamilton Heights. And at 6 o'clock at New Powell, it'll be number 2 Roncalli against number 3 New Powell in the game of the day. Roncalli is 24-4. New Powell 22-3. They've won 3 straight sectionals and 19 total. In Class 2A at Lafayette Central Catholic, the host and second-ranked Lafayette Central Catholic Knights will take on Delphi. Central Catholic is 24-5. They'll be going after their 21st sectional championship and their 4th in a row. They were state runners-up last year and state champions in 22 and 23. Delphi is 18-11 and has won a sectional 4 of the last 5 years. That game is at 6 o'clock. Sectional 38 at Oak Hill, it'll be number 5 Eastern against the host Golden Eagles. Eastern is 26-5. Oak Hill is 18-9. That game starts at 7. Sectional 39 at Lapel, it'll be 9-15 Tipton against 26-1 and top-ranked Lapel at 5:30. Tipton hasn't won a sectional since 2009. Lapel hasn't won one, surprisingly, since 2015. Sectional 40 at Madison Grant, 17-11 Eastbrook will take on 17-8 Wapahani. Eastbrook won its last sectional in 20 years last year. Wapahani's been a dominant program, winning 18 sectionals all time, but they haven't won one since 2022. Sectional 42 at Park Tudor, it's 18-11 University against 14-9 Park Tudor at 6. And sectional 44 at Winchester, it's number 7 Shenandoah against number 14 Hagerstown. Shenandoah is 20-4 and looking for their first sectional title since 2006. Hagerstown is 15-9. And sectional 54 at Clinton Prairie, it's number 4 Clinton Prairie against rival Clinton Central. Clinton Prairie is 19-7. Clinton Central 11-12. Clinton Prairie beat the Bulldogs earlier in the season. Sectional 55 at West Dell, it'll be 11-11 Cowan against 13-16 Northfield at 5:30. And sectional 57 at Anderson Prep at 6-10 Liberty Christian against 3-15 Anderson Prep. Those two programs also met in the boys basketball sectional championship. And Tuesday's softball local regionals, we start with Class 2A and our big one. Number 2 Alexandria against number 4 and reigning semi-state champion Lapel. Alexandria is 19-1 and has never won a regional. Lapel is 22-6 and won their first regional ever last year. Alexandria beat Lapel 5-1 on April 17th at Alexandria in the Madison County Tournament. The winner advances to the Kokomo semi-state. The winner at Rossville will also advance to the semi-state at Kokomo, and it'll be number 15 Rochester at number 10 Rossville. Rochester is 22-5. Rossville is 21-4 and the 3-time reigning regional champion. They were the state champions last year in Class A. In Class 3A, it'll be 20-4 Mississinawa at 18-9 Dwenger at 6 o'clock. The winner goes to Twin Lakes. Then it's number 6 Yorktown against number 4 Western, the reigning state champions. Yorktown is 20-4. They've won 6 regional championships in the last 13 years. Western is 26-3. That game is at 6 o'clock. And that winner goes to Twin Lakes as well. Number 2, New Powell takes on number 8 Cascade, the reigning Class 2A state champions, at 6 o'clock at Cascade. New Powell's 25-4 and were the 4A state runners-up last year. The winner advances to the Jasper semi-state. And in Class A, we have one game. It's Clinton Prairie at number 1 Riverton Park. Clinton Prairie is 19-8 and going for its first regional title since 2005. That game is at 7 o'clock, and the winner advances to the Frontier semi-state. We have one Class 4A regional locally on Tuesday, and it's 13-15 Lawrence North at 18-7 Greenfield Central. The Cougars playing for their first regional title since 2017. That game is at 6 o'clock, and the winner advances to the Center Grove semi-state. And then on Wednesday, number 10 Noblesville is at Harrison. Noblesville is 19-7. Harrison is 10-12. And the winner advances to the Harrison semi-state. Again, we will have our full baseball sectional championship scoreboard show for you on Tuesday. We will have scores from 63 of the 64 sectional championships that are being played on Monday, assuming none of them get rained out across the state. And we will have our softball regional scoreboard show for you on Wednesday afternoon, following Tuesday night's regional championships. Now you know everything we know about Central Indiana sports. Thank you so much for listening. Always appreciate it. Please help us out by telling your friends and family about the Central Indiana Sports Report. We could really use your help spreading the word. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.